Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll set up to throw. Throw left side, that's Johnson. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9
yards. That's another Saints first down.
They'll look to throw. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. They'll stop it here. We have an injured Saint on the play.
Here we go, Saint.
Throwing now on 1st and 10. Moving to his left. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Taysom Hill working free downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Taysom Hill, touchdown Saints. That is 2nd TD catch of the season. What a catch and run by the tight end as he takes it into the end zone and finishes the play. Greg, you know what that's like. Tight end touchdown.
Mike, so often the tight ends are considered to be the possession guys, right? They're the guy you throw it to when you need an
Kellen Moore, the head coach of the Saints. His guys heading back onto the field. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times, and maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady. And then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. And New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. And Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets, new coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay's been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the rivalries amongst these teams really elevates what you see when you watch the NFC South go head-to-head, too.
Yeah, and over the years, there's been some major games played between Hall of Fame quarterbacks in uniform for all these teams. So it has a lot more history and a lot more, kind of relevance than maybe it feels as of late. The markets are a little smaller. The teams have been down. They might not have the premier star players that they had in past generations. So they've got to continue to rebuild these rosters, continue to have these new coaches find their footing, and we might be a year or two away from the NFC South getting back to what it used to be.
And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
13 more yards.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
To the air one more time. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
The offense goes from feeling really good about the previous play with a real nice pickup to then on the ensuing play ending up going the complete opposite direction. Really nice job here by the defense immediately getting back on track. And what do the coaches say? Just play the next play. That's exactly what they did.
Number 41, Alvin Kamara.
They come to the line needing 11 here on 3rd down.
And 11.
He'll drop to throw. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And he will easily pick up the 1st down. They've got 1st and goal coming up.
first and goal at the 7-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Alvin Kamara. Touchdown, New Orleans. That's his first touchdown of the new year. The quarterback. The Saints offense going to get it one final time in this first half. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check up.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he shows off those strong legs right through one tackle. Give him a gain of 8.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 8.
So, halftime straight ahead, and we send it over to Scott Hansen, who has the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Saints offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does it feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime. Each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, picked off by Giamador Lenore. And the Niners are going to get it back here just past the 35.
For these young rookie quarterbacks, every snap in the NFL is an opportunity to have a lesson learned, and sometimes the lessons come a little bit harder than others. In this case, they kind of fool them with their blitz package. It's a little bit more complex at the NFL level than it is necessarily in college, and I think he just got a first-hand taste of just how fast this pressure can get on you, and sometimes when it speeds up that clock, you can make a bad throw.
The Saints offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener, and you play a tight game and lose. It kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that cardinal rule? You don't want one loss to turn into 2, one bad play to turn into 2. The best teams in this league, Mike, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good? And there certainly was a lot of it. But can they move forward today and not let the disappointment of last week trickle into today?
Moving to his right, taking off, and he'll be forced out of bounds and pick up a couple on that one.
out of bounds at
From the 44-yard line. Here's second down and 7.
Brings up second and 7.
Back to throw. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. He's going to be taken down at about the 30. They'll stop it here. We have an injured Saint on the play. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. The reception for Rashid Shaheed. And they're going to be set up now as he's brought down at the 5-yard line.
And you think back to the first half, Mike, just how well he threw the ball, and you thought maybe this defense would come up with some answers in the second half to slow him down, but so far, that has proven to not be the case.
That one, take it in. Rashid Shaheed, touchdown Saints. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter, get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage. Now out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. And a few kneel downs should do it here. Defensively, they do still have those 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, they'll start out with Kamara. The Niners use the first of their timeouts. Not much there, maybe a yard.
A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Here's a second and 9.
Let's go.
They'll go again here with Kamara. And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line. Timeout 49ers. That is their second.
And the Saints.
They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down.
And 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here we go, set.
Another run here with Kamara. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down.
Brought down
The Niners will use their 3rd and final
It's a pickup
timeout.
of 3.
And they'll get
Brings up
together
second
prior
and
to the
7.
second down play. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. 3rd, they need 8.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Down to a knee one more time. And that should just about do it. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 19, side, go.
First play of the game, first throw of the game.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down.
3rd down and 4.
Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. He'll look over the middle and find his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
That's another Saints 1st down.
They'll look to throw yet again. That one out wide for Kamara. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6.
At the 47-yard line.
This one intercepted. Look at him go. Nothing better than a big man touchdown. The defensive lineman comes up with a pick-6. Celebration time for the guys up front.
Yeah, Mike, and you can always see which guys have a little running back in their pass, because this big guy, when he got his hands on the ball,
So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. They're led out by their quarterback, a 2nd-round pick back in April's draft.
you just hope throughout your career, Mike, that you're not on the wrong end of too many games like last week. So many games in the NFL come down to one score. They're very close. And every once in a while, there are multiple score games where you just can't seem to keep it close. They've got to do a better job keeping pace early, get off to a faster start. They want to have a chance. Come the 4th quarter, this thing's within one score. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable this time around than where they were last week.
Pushed out to his left. He'll tuck it and take off.
That's just great awareness there, Mike. He's looking downfield, doesn't see anything, but he is locked in to get that first down. Tucks it, becomes a runner, and gets past the marker.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll go right and find his running back. And he's going to be very close to the 1st down marker. Out of bounds after a gain of 9.
Out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Now it's 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Rolling to the left. He bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down.
By Brian Burns.
Here's 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Open man, right side. He's got it. 13 yards on that pass play. 1st down, New Orleans.
It's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the 4th quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
We'll try again here. 2nd and 10. That one just too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Cooks with that pass. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Out of the gun, he'll throw. That is incomplete. Here we go. That's what should be their final play. It's 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
taken in, and he's not going to get away. They got him right down after the catch. Great rally to the ball to force a turnover on down. The Saints offense getting set to get back to work. Greg, I love the evolution of the NFL. Every 3-4 years feels like things change a little bit. Right now it feels like we're in a running back, running game era. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, and the league has such a funny way of continuing to reinvent itself. Years ago, 15, 20 years ago, Mike, this was a running back-led league. It was play action. Quarterbacks were under center. And then what offenses realized was the best way to score points is to generate explosive plays. Get a bunch of yardage.
We're back on EA Sports. We'll pick things up in the fourth and final quarter. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on their first play. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to have this down to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that's good for a new set of downs for New Orleans.
And the Saints, first down.
Here's a throw. Caught by his back, Kamara. And this one doesn't go far. This is 2nd and 6 coming up.
4 yards on the pickup. Second down.
They are throwing it again.
39-yard line.
Right side, Shaheed's got it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing it again here. Finding Shaheed, back-to-back plays. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches.
It's 2nd and inches.
Sticking to the air here. Flushed out of the pocket. And this time they can't connect, so that's incomplete. Been favoring their back this drive. Let's see if it's going to continue now on 3rd down. Well, he's been perfect to that point on the drive, Brock. First time we've seen this coverage force him into a misstep in a while.
I know you hear me talk all the time, Kate, about the rhythm of an offense, right?
Yeah,
and I look at it through those optics so much. It's the same thing defensively. You've got to get a stop, see the ball hit the ground to knock them out of that rhythm.
And we'll pause here for an injured Saints player. Looks like he's pretty shaken up. They'll get someone out to look at him. Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. He's got it to his running back. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints now within 1 score in the 4th. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. And I'm pretty sure, Brock, they hadn't even all sat down on that sideline yet to rest. And now they're right back out there with a great chance to repeat their last touchdown.
And you will take that every day of the week and twice on Sundays. You don't mind at all. You got that defense right now reeling after the touchdown. And look at where they start with the football now.
They'll come out throwing. Throw is caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal. They need the end zone here. They've got 4 chances at it. This is 1st and goal. Goal to go. They're passing. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
That's just simply one of those situations, Kate, where I think you and I got to tip our cap to the defense. Really took away everybody. There was no outlet, and only an incompletion could be had.
comes away with it. And the Rams will take over as he records his first interception of our season. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone. The Saints ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. Finds his man over the middle. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. That's good for a Saints first down.
First down, Saints.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Kamara now on 1st and 10. And he gets a few on the plunge forward. It's the 2-minute warning here in L.A. Saints trail by 8.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Now looking to throw. Escaped. Oh, he lost the football. And they jump on top of it. Oh, a clutch recovery to clean up the mistake this late in the game. They dodged the turnover, but still 3rd and pretty long. They've got to figure out. Throwing now. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that brings up 4th and long.
It's now 4th down.
Desperation time here. Has a man on target to Johnson. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10.
First down, New Orleans.
He'll look to throw it. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes. And on 1st down, only gets about a yard here. And the defender there to force him out. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here he is to throw. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
Carol Witherspoon on the coverage.
Looking to throw it. Chased out to his right. And they got there in time. He's taken down. And that's going to make it just about worst-case scenario for this offense, Brock. It is 4th and long.
And it's 4th down.
Now to throw. And he forced it on 4th, and it's intercepted. And the Rams make the play that should win them this game.
The 4th down pass. Intercepted. Result of the play is a turnover on down.